Second time with Wyoming. Let's just start with Wyoming. We'll get to some Air Force questions in a minute. But like, what do you remember about Wyoming? What's got to change so it's not so tight at the end?
Well, I can tell you, number one, playing in Wyoming is tough. Altitude was very hard to play in, so they definitely had an advantage there. But they're a good team. They're tough. They know how to play together. I know they have a little situation going up there where they lost some guys, but everybody's capable in this league, and as y'all know, it's a very confusing league, so we're just looking forward to going out there and get this victory.
How do you guys bounce back with, it's been weird, man. Like, I know the Nevada games took a lot out of you because they were just at the last second, and I'm sure, is it fair to say that there's a little bit of a hangover after those two particular games?
Yeah, it's a little bit, devastating when you lose like that. You don't try to, get too high or too low with the emotions. So I think the biggest thing is that we have to have a big gut check, not to give in to the losing mentality and the fatigue and all that, and understand that we just need to stay positive. And, we need to stay together as a team, most importantly right now, and not give in to the, one dude or this or, going out there for statistics. Just going out there and get the win and understand what we're playing for.
How much of the gut check starts on defense?
It definitely starts a lot. It starts every day. It's very disappointing to see, myself and a bunch of the group of guys, how we went in there against Air Force. We just did not display a defensive mentality or defensive competitive spirit. So that game was definitely frustrating. We regrouped, we watched the film, and we definitely have to take more pride in getting stops on the defense end.
How are you feeling? I know you were sick.
Yeah, I felt all right. I didn't really think too much of the sickness when game time came. I was feeling a little rough the night before, but it's basketball. It's things you got to deal with, and I was going to go out there and compete and try to get the victory for my team.
I know you said it's not ever about one guy, but Jalen was missing. So aside from what him not being on the court specifically meant, it did kind of alter the rotation. So how much of like you and Donovan's minutes and what had become sort of a pattern of rotation, how much of that like kind of affected the gameplay? Not so much just what Jalen would have been doing if he was on the court, but the rotation that you guys then had to kind of play with.
Yeah, it's just next man up mentality. When you're out there on the court, just go out there and give it your all. You got to go from possession to possession, not worry about the next possession or the one that happened before. But, Jalens was definitely an impact in the game before and in every other game we have played. So he was a missing piece out there. And as you guys could see, his defensive presence brings a lot, and his energy helps us out. But no matter who's out, we have enough talent to go out there and compete with anybody.
And with that said, what's the most motivation like, hey, man, we want to get back on track. What's the motivation?
I don't think there's really no motivation. I think there's enough self-discipline within everybody on this team to understand what's at stake for us and to just get back to work, just flush it and, just regroup and have a gut check, like I said.
Is the conference working out like how you thought it would? Because man, it's almost like you all are. I think about to the days when Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler and all those guys would fight each other. Mm-hmm. It's like that. This conference is like that. Somebody just, bam, you don't know what's going to happen each night.
Yeah, it's definitely confusing. This conference is most confusing out of all of them. So it's a very competitive conference when you have, standings and teams that are beating the high teams and low teams. That just tells you how even out this conference is. So we got to get back to work, man. We know what's at stake. We need to get back up there in the top 4 of the rankings. So I think we can do it for sure.
Do you guys talk about it much? Do you guys actually specifically talk about man, we got to get back up to this spot or that spot? Or is it just sort of, you said there's a collective sort of, we know what's next, we know what we have to do, but you guys actually talk about?
Yeah, both, most definitely. You got to know what's going on. You got to know what's going on throughout the league. You got to know who's playing well, who's not playing well, and it's just everything that piles up. We want to be number one. It's definitely tough, losing some games and missing out on some quad 1 wins, but like you said, it's both of everything.
Is it ever surprising to you all when you guys look at the games that were played that night and you go, oh, you know what I mean? Because it's surprising to us.
Yeah, most definitely. It's like I said, it's confusing seeing teams go up and, you lose players, and some players are playing good that you might not expect. But, every team's capable. We're Division I basketball players, and everybody can hoop.
Coach says he doesn't believe in momentum all that much. How do you feel about the idea of momentum with 6 games left and in the Mountain West schedule, coming off 3 losses?
I think the main thing is we just need to wake up and we need to win today. We need to win in practice because if we lose today, it can pile over, and you don't want to stack a lost day on a lost day. So just waking up every day and understanding what's at stake, and going into practice and winning practice and winning the shoot-arounds and winning, the film sessions and all that, it definitely piles up and it can carry over to game time.
What about you and Mash in terms of leadership as captains and the tough losses that you guys have gone through, and how you've dealt with that internally, and how you guys talk about it?
Yeah, we need to take control in the locker room. I think we've done a great job of doing that, and other guys have stepped up as well. It's not just me and Mash. We definitely have more captains on this team. But within the inside, in our core, the gut check, like I keep saying, we just need to get back to understanding, are we going to do this as a team, or are we going to veer off and just let these 6 games just be what they are and carry into the tournament and just go from there? So everybody's trying to eat. Everybody's got an end goal, and the only way we can get that done is if we collectively come together as a team.
Have you guys talked about the importance of just playing this just real tight, consistent defense?
Mm-hmm. Defense is a thing that, we're not so heavily on as much as offense, as you could see that. So I think it just starts in practice, pushing each other and understanding that practices may be tougher than the games. It's got to be more physical. It's got to be you getting chewed out more. So, practice is where it starts.
Last one with Jeff.
Real quick, tomorrow, Valentine's Day, single section, couple section in the stand. Do you have any Valentine's Day stories or anything that you could share with us? Or
Nah,
Valentine's Day mean anything?
I don't know. Valentine's Day isn't really nothing much. I might send my mama some flowers or something like that, but nah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to look up in the crowd too much about Valentine's Day, and now I'm locked in on the game.
You got anything you want to say to the honeys, man?
No, I don't got nothing to say to the honeys. I'm locked in.